Before I proceed with this video, I understand it might be a little bit too long for some of you. So by all means, if you just want to skip ahead, just scroll down, look in the description, you'll see chapters are all there. We happen to see an interesting batch of skins this week, lots of collection continuations. I'll ask you right now, which of these happens to be your most favourite skin? And honestly, if you just want to skip ahead and get a good look at it, just look at the description, scroll down, it's all chapters. So alright, cool. So I'm not joking when I say we saw a lot of collection continuations, but we've also got some very interesting potential brand new skins that could develop into collections as well. So I'll talk about that in a bit, don't you worry, but yep. I see the Redemption Collection. I see Old Pirate Python. Oh yeah. That accompany the Revolver ever so nicely. But of course we also happen to have Abyss, Porcelain, Cold Hunter. Well, not going to complain about that. What about all the clothing and the armour though? To be honest with you, I am surprised we didn't see Black Ops Tier 2. I'm still not going to rule it out. But yeah, that's kind of surprising, isn't it? Alright then, cool. So, yeah, a perfectly fine batch of skins. I was expecting that. 2 BBQs to be accepted in the same Rust store. But a very interesting collection continuation and a very interesting standalone creative approach right there as well. So, yeah, that's cool. I haven't even talked about HellCore. Like, pretty much every actual intended, attempt to be in the Rust store that a HellCore skin has been submitted for has been accepted. It's been continuous. So for 4 straight weeks in January 2026, we saw acceptance after acceptance after acceptance after acceptance, but then the skin creator had to focus making the Valentine skin, so he had to take a break. All of February was stacked, so no normal non-holiday skins for that. But the very second we return, last week, March, what do we see? Oh look, a Thompson. And then they priced it at $4, so it didn't sell that much. But literally the very next week, boom, bow. Well then, Delarai, looks like you have the Transparent Aim Sight collection for this year. Last year, Heatseeker collection, boom, say hello to HellCore. So I reckon you might want to keep an eye on that from now, because he keeps getting skins accepted. What would you like to see being accepted next? Feel free to comment below, but yeah, alright. That's an interesting pattern right there. So how about we go ahead and figure out of all these skins, all 13 of them, which one happens to be abnormal, which one happens to be not abnormal. And just to make things nice and easy, I'll point out all the skins that are not abnormal. So Fishbed, you are not abnormal. Look at him screaming. Ah! Caution Backpack, you are not abnormal. Oil King AK-47, not abnormal. Cold Hunter Handmade LMG, to be honest with you, kind of surprised by that, not abnormal. And perhaps most surprising, Porcelain SKS, not abnormal. So this week we actually had quite a lot of skins that aren't abnormal. But of course, you know, to counter that, a lot of other skins that are abnormal. So we still have quite a lot to chase after. But, you know, last week we had 2 non-abnormal skins. So, cool. Let's now hop over to here. We're about 3 hours in. Probably pushing up to 3.5 hours now. Yep. You'll notice some of these skins are actually selling very nicely already. But can I also just quickly point out, yeah, quite a lot of late picks today. The tactical gloves. We also happen to have the handmade LMG. Yep, so 4 months. We also happen to have the backpack that took 6 months to be accepted, and the fish bed that took 4 months. So surprisingly, a lot of late picks this week. Although they're all kind of like nice collection continuations, so I guess we won't get too upset about that. Fair enough. But I wasn't joking when I said, you know, some of these newer skins, they might have some interesting collection continuations in the workshop already. Oh, well then, okay. There's a lot to look forward to, I guess you could say. But, yeah, keep an eye out. If you want to be aware of, all the newer skins that are being submitted to the workshop, I will always point this out. Hedge is always keeping an eye out for the newer skins. He's always doing the Rust Workshop skin checks. So, by all means, if you just want to look for the collection continuations, they're always chaptered. And, of course, I will be referencing abnormals, throughout all this video, because it's super advantageous to jump in and get some early barders in. If you don't fully know what abnormal skins are, basically with every brand new Rust store that we see, some of the skins will actually become marketable before the Rust store even rotates to the next Rust store. And we get a good 20 hours to look at those skins on the Steam market, see if the barders actually add up close to its Rust store price, And then we can, question, you know what, maybe it might be a great time to actually jump in and grab a bunch of them straight from the rust store. So last night we had the Hazma Sheep Matador, for example. We had the Naval Camo Tier 2. We did our buy orders, and well, I might have bought a decent amount of them. So what I'd recommend to you right now, if you don't fully understand abnormals, watch the first 5 minutes of this, skip ahead to the chapter where the barders happen, and then just listen in as I talk about the abnormal barder support. You'll very quickly understand what goes on, why we do it, and, well, the potential success we could have. So it makes us feel more confident to actually want to jump in and buy these skins. And what did you buy then, Hedge? Oh, I bought 100 Hazma Sheep Matadors, 100 Naval Camo Kilts, and 50 HellCore Thompsons. Yes, I'm very happy about that one. So, okay. Maybe we'll see some interesting collection continuations on the horizon. Maybe Hedge needs to sell some things to get some funds back. But yes, abnormals, super helpful, and it'll definitely put in a much more interesting potential spot to make some sweet, delicious profits. So, all right, cool. Let's just have a quick little run through this rust store. So, another transparent floating furnace. A very cool, eerie-looking armored double door. And don't forget, armored double door is the focused item of the month. We are anticipating another one to appear next week and a week after that. Also, $3 again. $3. Well then, okay. I think we've got 10 tactical cloth skins now in total. That's fine. I know for a fact there's a lot of support for that wrought iron barbecue. I know that for a fact. Okay. So, yeah, literally last week, we were sitting here talking about the No Mercy SKS. I sat here discussing, well, maybe it could work out quite all right, so as long as we don't see another White SKS anytime soon. Literally, very next rust store. Say hello to Porcelain SKS. Well, I guess that's going to be a bit funny now. I do wonder, though, will the Porcelain SKS sell as much as the No Mercy SKS? Well, that'd be an interesting discussion, wouldn't it? This past weekend, we saw Cold Hunter SKS being submitted as well. And yet, Face Punch decided to get the Handmade LMG instead. I mean, it's still nice to see more of it, but they must have at least considered it, and they thought, well, okay, maybe as a consolation, we'll just go accept another Cold Hunter skin. Again, I don't know how they think. I don't know their thought process for picking skins. It's just whatever they feel like, I guess. Right, so yeah. Interesting skins indeed. How about we now go through all of them and consider which of these could actually work out as nice investments in the future. So first of all, we have the Storm Cloud Furnace. And I've got to point this out. Do you notice what this could potentially be a reference to? I'm not sure if that's the intention. Don't worry, I'll make it obvious to you maybe later on. Anyway, that's a pretty cool looking design. That's a very creative approach. But it's not the first time we've had a transparent furnace. And if you aren't fully well aware, it floats. It's a cloud. It makes sense. And that's clever. With the lightning bolts also going down like a little bit lower, which you'll see in a second. Oh, that's even better. That's one very angry looking cloud. But what happens next? Could we see a Deployable collection being built up from this? I mean, there's no stopping it. You could easily do like a garage door and a sheep door and all that. What about a barbecue though? I mean, it's like long, fat and wide. You could just do like a really big bulky cloud. The legs could be lightning bolts. That might be cool. So we'll see what becomes of that. But let's also point out, we're about 3.5 hours in. That is selling very nicely at the moment. In fact, let's just refresh just to be 110% sure that we're definitely up to date. Yep, look at that. Yep. So pushing up to 4 hours, and we're almost at 4,000 subscribers already. It's selling a lot, to which I believe there's like a lot of like demand for it. But are people buying in excess as well? Are people buying like an extra 50 or 100 with the pure intent to sell? Because if there's far too many people doing that, well, that leads to issues, doesn't it? So let's hope we don't see tons of them on the Steam market. But let's also remind ourselves, how many transparent furnaces have we seen so far? Well, of course, the very first one of this past Halloween, Ghost Furnace, over 70,000 subscribers. What? Well, that happened. But yes, over 70,000 subscribers, and yet only slightly down in price. There's over 200 listings of this on the Steam market right now. Now, a short while later, we also happen to see UFO Abduction Furnace. Just over 30,000 subscribers. And yet, down 54%. Now, that sold for $2. This sold for $3. Maybe the price might have been a bit funny, but that is a bit silly. That's only got like 50 listings on the Steam market right now, and yet it's down. Ooh. And then somewhat recently, we also happen to have the Trust and Rust Overcharged Furnace, the Charity Furnace. I believe that cost like $5, if I can remember. All proceeds did go towards the charity, so yeah. We've already had some options, and now we have this one as well. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if this does sell less compared to Ghost Furnace, but I can't give you a solid answer in regards to maybe it might sell more than a UFO Furnace. If it does develop into an actual collection, okay, that should be fine, alright? But what would you like to see being made next? What would you consider? Maybe the skin creator will read your comments, so comment now. What would you like to see being made next for a potential proposed Storm Cloud collection? Now, also keep this in mind. There might be some problems. What might the problems be, Hedge? We have Easter on the horizon. 2 Easter Rust stores for the first 2 weeks of April. So if we don't see it being accepted immediately, maybe it might not happen until just after that. So do keep that in mind just in case. So, alright, cool. Understood. It's interesting, but the sales could lead to potential problems. So we'll keep an eye on that. Apotheosis of War Armored Double Door. Now, let me just sit here and say this. It wouldn't surprise me if we potentially see like 2 armored double doors next week, or at least 1, okay? It is the focused item of the month, but a pattern I have noticed as of recent is that whether it's the brand new Skinnable or the focused item of the month, you should expect at least 1 rust door. We're going to see either 2 of the, well, new Skinnable or the focused item of the month. So we've already seen the BBQs. Could we still see that happens to the armored double door? And just to point this out, yes, this is a more recent submission, but let's not forget that we have seen some very interesting armored double doors being submitted over the past 2 or 3 weeks. Very interesting, notable collection continuations. I'm sure you can notice them. So, okay, that's cool. But yeah, that's potential competition. Now, in regards to this skin right here, I wasn't joking when I said this has kind of waited for a while. Not the actual skin here, but the collection. Produced by Mr. Icona. In the past, we have seen the garage door and the rug, and I made short videos of them. I thought they looked really cool. Looking at that garage door again, I'm still annoyed that wasn't accepted. But maybe we'll see them being resubmitted. Maybe we could actually see the beginning of the Apotheosis of War collection. And again, Icona, I think you did a very good job with that. Let's see if that actually happens. So what's your opinion? What do you reckon? Well, of course, we see more deplorables being made and accepted. Yes, the armored double door is expected to do better. Now, let's also consider last week we had that nuke room armored double door. Are people going to feel compelled to want to buy this brand new one as well? Maybe we don't see that many sales. And if that happens, all the better for it to rise up in price in the future if we do see collection continuations. So, yeah, we're in a bit of a funny spot. We don't fully know what's going to happen next, but it's fun to guess. So first of all, do you like the design? Feel free to comment below. And let's see if we do see more of it. I do expect the skin creator to try and focus that. Fingers crossed it works out. So, alright. Congratulations, Icona. I'll be keeping an eye out for you on the workshop. $3 as well, though. And next week, we'll very likely see some more. Seeing a lot of them being accepted in such a short amount of time, with all previous instances of focused items of the month, we have noticed problems. So, yeah, I have to just make sure I point that out as well. Training tactical gloves, a perfectly fine black and white design. Let's remind you that the training collection is doing pretty good. Now the weapons, bit funny. That's a very funny one, of course, as well. But the clothing and the armor, oh, the clothing and the armor. For quite a decent amount of time, this was the go-to black option before blackout even existed. And people did appreciate it. And still to this day, people still appreciate it. So looking at the sales there, yeah, it's quite low. True, understandable. I don't know how much this is going to sell. Maybe it'll do a similar number compared to the roadside gloves. Looking at it right now, I think it will be probably the highest selling clothing and armor piece out of the full set. Considering that, could it still work out quite alright? So, well, Again, this right here, that is abnormal. We can get those early barders in, and we can look at the support afterwards. And, well, then we can get a good idea if this is actually going to retain its price. So, in regards to abnormals, such as the Stormcloud Furnace, the Apotheosis of War Armored Double Door, and these gloves right here, maybe it's best we just wait until next Wednesday, look at the sales then, and then question what prices to offer, and then look and see what the support is afterwards, all right? So, yeah, let's make use of the time, make use of it and have it, be a nice advantage for us. Let's get that early insight. So, all right, cool, understood. But yeah, how many tactical gloves do we have right now? We have seen quite a lot. Well, quite a lot this year already. But that was to be expected. With a brand new Skinnable, it is expected that you start seeing a lot of skins being accepted. And I don't think it'll have as much as the bed, for example. But, will there be more black tactical gloves in the future? We've already seen Pirate. What's stopping Black Gold and Black Diamond? Well, Blackout. So, yeah, maybe it might suffer because of that. Keep an eye on the sales. Let's wait it out first, then we'll do barders first. Wrought Iron Barbecue. Maybe I need to talk about both of these at the same time. One is an independent design that could potentially turn into a collection, and that, of course, is part of a collection. I will talk about them separately. So in regards to wrought iron, first of all, there will be another barbecue, all right? Next week, there will be another one. And the week after that, it's expected that there'll be another one. Easter. Let's not be surprised if we see some Easter barbecues. That really wouldn't be that surprising, would it? So, okay. Understood in that regard. But yes, this was on Twitter. This did the rounds. People were saying a lot of positive things. This was doing very nice, right? So lots of people saw it. Lots of people offered their support to it and whatnot. Lo and behold, it's accepted. Now, if I could also just point this out, Domch, the skin creator, he's also made a locker. So yes, an interesting metallic, transparent design. I know for a fact a lot of people really like that locker, especially after what Silver Spooks did with that video, showcasing that you can put them on boats. Super handy, super helpful. So look at Bamboo Cage, look at Bones Locker. They're doing a lot better right now, aren't they? So, okay, yeah, potential to grow, potential to turn into a collection. All right, you're in a very interesting spot. And yet still, I'm not feeling very confident. I mean, Nuke Via Barbecue's already gone down by a quarter. Then again, it did sell quite a lot. And it is the very first one, so that is to be expected. But usually with the brand new Skinnables that we see, the first few skins are the one that suffers. So that could still likely end up going down in price. It's a fun, very cool looking creative approach. It's just, yeah, still, we could have that pitfall, that issue, that problem. So I'm going to play, I'm going to, keep an eye on this. I'm going to be very tentative. But let me also just say this. Not every single skin has to be an investment, right? You can look at all these skins, and some of you might sit there and say, oh, but I really want to get that one. I actually really like that. I'd love to have it. Don't sit there and just try and get it with a barter. Just go buy it. Treat yourself. Show some support to the skin creators. Keep them nice and motivated to keep wanting to put out nice creative designs in the future, all right? So yeah, go ahead, show support. Just buy it. Treat yourself. Enjoy it, okay? So in regards to that barbecue, if you're thinking about that, just go ahead, grab it. Enjoy it. But I will say, you never know, you might see another very cool looking barbecue. I've seen sharks, I've seen wine barrels. We've seen some pretty cool designs. Let's just give you a quick little look. So let's just go over to here, barbecue. We've got Pac-Man. Beautiful. I did not expect that. So if you've got your own special servers, maybe you want to take that one. We've just recently seen race car bed. We have a mimic. We've got a radioactive barrel. There's a shark. There's a barbecue. So, yeah, there's a lot of options that could be accepted potentially next week. That could be funny, goofy, or stylistically more interesting compared to this. So keep that in mind. But with all due respect, it looks nice. So I'm sure people still buy it and appreciate it. Cool, understood. So it's just the fact that there's a lot more expected to be accepted. I'm just not sure. And also, are you actually going to go for the effort to skin your barbecues? Is it just more of a role play item? So yeah, okay, understood. All good. Let's now move on and talk about the SKS. Not abnormal, so that might be a bit of a concern. But like I just said, well, in theory, you could have been the only white SKS we were going to have for quite some time. Nope, literally just a week. Boom, done. Uh-oh. So, porcelain collection. Where's that hoodie and pants? Where's that hoodie and pants? So, weapons, they're looking pretty okay. Not these ones, but oh yeah, these ones. It's been a long time since we saw a porcelain weapon skin being accepted. Like 5 years. Okay. Well, when you see this with your own eyes in a second, or rather in about maybe like 20 minutes maybe. Anyway, yes. Basically, that right there, that's a very nice, lovely, artistic design. And I know for a fact a lot of people will be greatly appreciating it. But if we do see another white option for an SKS, and let me point out Olympus, Thunder Gold, they exist, they're in the workshop. One complete the sets, boom, there you go. Uh-oh, problems. Yeah, that could lead to some issues with this. But again, it's another matter of, well, look at it. It's an art piece. If you like what you see, just go ahead, bite, use it, enjoy it. Just to point out as well, this does not have a transparent aim sight. No SKS currently has a fully transparent aim sight right now. I wonder if HellCore tried, what would happen? Right, anyway, so cool, understood. It's fine, it's not abnormal. I'll be honest with you, I am also going to be pretty, tentative with that one. I'm going to approach it calmly and slowly. Cold Hunter Handmade LMG. So, yeah, handmade LMGs. I'm not sure if they're actually in demand. But this collection, oh, that does appear to be in demand. And recently we saw the Cold Hunter Combat Knife didn't sell too much. Well, out of all the recent Combat Knife skins to be accepted, that one is doing significantly better compared to all the other ones. I'm not sure if it's a buyout, if it was genuine demand, but wow, look at that. I'm annoyed because I didn't buy any. Now let's also just quick look at all the handmade LMGs. Boom. Maybe this Cold Hunter handmade LMG will be one of the ones that actually stays in the positive. But we've got Blackout here, also down in price. And again, it's March and April. So I have to make sure this is chaptered. If you aren't fully aware, during the months of March and April, the player count tends to drop off. Case in point, look at last year. Tons of people playing June, January. Still lots of people playing June, February. But then a noticeable drop-off happens over the course of March and April. This happens a lot. It happens every single year. It's a routine thing that was expected to happen. Less people playing, less demand for skins, lower skin prices. But I warn you. I keep you alert. I keep you aware. So, okay. Maybe it might not be that bad. But with the current rate of sales at the moment, oh, maybe it won't sell too much. Maybe it just go down in price regardless, much like the Blackout handmade LMG has. Yeah, okay. So right now, prices aren't exactly going to be super great. Maybe it's going to dip for a while. And again, all of these skins can also be affected by that as well. The Easter dip, March and April. So I'm looking at that. I'm curious. But that's also not abnormal, isn't it? Will the collection carry it? Or will that still suffer? Unfortunately, I feel like it might be the latter. It might still just suffer. So we'll keep an eye on you. If you don't sell too ridiculously, okay, you're definitely going to look a whole lot more appealing. But considering it's the 6th best-selling skin out of 13, I expect it to do at least more than 10,000 subscribers. So I don't expect it to sell like next to nothing. Oil King AK-47. So let's just quickly show this off. Perfectly fine looking design, but also there's a crossbow. There's a crossbow that was submitted just this past weekend. And get a good look at that. Wow. That's a nice bit of transparency. Well, a certain hunting bow that we have, maybe we want to see a crossbow like that. Oh, what? We'll talk about that in a second. But yes, this could also turn into a brand new collection. Okay, that's cool. But we just had an AK-47. And I don't want to say I'm mean, but this is just a standard AK. Now, if it turns into a collection, all right, cool. That'd be nice. That'd be nice to see it. So more grounded, more like realistic sort of approach. It's not like neon coloured. It doesn't have like ponies all over it. No, it's just like Soil King. So, okay. It's not abnormal. Most AK-47s that end up in rust stores tend to go down in price pretty badly. I feel like that's just like the inevitability. But by all means, if you like it and you'll see more of it, show your support to the skin creator, keep them nice and motivated. So, yeah, sorry to say. Caution backpack. Well, is your collection in demand? It might be now. I think people might be buying it out. Let's see. Hasn't changed. Oh dear. Right, okay then. So backpack was accepted. I'm not noticing that much of an impact, but you might remember we got the boots being accepted quite a while back. Well, that had a bit of an impact. So looking at all the clothing armor pieces, positive, positive, positive. Where's the pants? Ooh, slightly negative. Slightly in the negative. Boots also went down, which is a bit of a surprise. I'm not sure if the backpack's actually going to make that much of a difference. What we need is tier 3. What we need is tier 3. So, okay. Wait, just confirm it was tier 3, right? Okay, yeah, we need tier 3. Maybe we'll see that being submitted at some point in the near future. We'll see. But, yeah, a yellow backpack. Let's also just quickly point this out. We haven't actually seen that many backpack skins being accepted as of recent. Yeah, 4 so far, but that's like 4 after what, almost 3 months? Seems we really are calming down compared to the previous year. Although beds are kind of taking that sort of strange role of the item that just keeps getting tons of skins accepted. Well, I mean, we did get one this week, didn't we? Yeah, so anyway, moving on. So that a lack of sales could probably work out quite all right for you. Let's keep an eye on you as well. But the collection, it's old, and I'm not sure if we're actually going to see it being completed. I could ask the skin creator. We'll see what becomes of that. I'm just not feeling like it's going to, I don't feel confident it's definitely going to happen. But, you know, it couldn't hurt to ask, so. All right, we'll see what happens with that. Now we'll talk about the Abyss BBQ. So this, of course, being the collection continuation. This, of course, being the one that glows in the dark. Now, over the past few years, Abyss collection, it appeared, it got more and more skins accepted. It actually has proven to be one of the more in-demand and appreciated collections in all of Rust. Let's just refresh once again. So we're now pushing up to about 4 hours since the Rust rotated. In fact, we have now passed that. Abyss collection, well, look and see. Lots of green, but some of these more recent skins, they haven't exactly worked out very nicely. But then again, tools, rarely did they ever work out nicely. That MP5 had some transparency, but we also happen to have like a Heatseeker. We've had those Twitch drops. We've had HellCore. It's not exactly in the best of spots. And yet, only down by 13%. L96, that was a focused item of the month when that appeared, and then tons more of them were accepted after you. You didn't really have a good start. So this. There's still lots of them in the green. But what about a brand new deployable? Sheet metal double door, you're doing wonderful. Sleeper bag, perfection. But these over to here, not exactly super great. But then again, Easter dip, March and April. A lot of skins right now are currently going down in price. So maybe, this is just, because it's bad times. Maybe you could actually work out quite all right. $3 though? Oof. Well then, I'm kind of not surprised to see that selling less compared to this. But could this still work out perfectly fine, considering its collection's reasonably in demand? When times are good, does that go up? I want to keep an eye on the sales. It's abnormal. Sorry. I want to play it smartly and carefully. So yeah, I'm going to wait it out. Sales first, look at them Wednesday, then we'll approach. Redemption double barrel shotgun. Wow, this is an in-demand collection. It would be nice if we saw the hoodie and pants being accepted though. Moving on. So anyway, yep, another weapon skin's accepted, but you'll notice some of these older skins here, oh, they worked out all right. When they first initially appeared, that whole weapon collection that it originally was, all of them were in the positive. It was doing very nicely. But then something happened, didn't really work out as well as you'd imagine. But then we got like armor, still a few more weapons being accepted, and then of course weapon after weapon after weapon after weapon. So let me put this out. I would be surprised if that Redemption double barrel shotgun does go below its $2.49 price. That wouldn't surprise me. Double barrel shotguns in general, well, yeah, they're not exactly doing very well. But Redemption collection is doing very well. Yeah, I'd say, yeah, I'll commit to that, yep. So, I reckon that Redemption Double Barrel Shotgun, whilst I still expect it to drop off, I don't think it'll drop off too ridiculously. I don't think it'll crash and burn. I think that could still work out A-okay. But it'll definitely be a barter situation. Now, again, it's the 4th lowest selling skin so far. Maybe we could just wait it out, considering it's abnormal. Do the abnormal barters first, then look at it. Make considerations. So yeah, don't forget, every Wednesday, I stream on Twitch. We go through all the abnormals. So look at the description right now. The link to my Twitch is right there. So if you're not fully sure how to approach these skins, hop in, just observe, and watch Hedge yap for about 4 hours. So, cool. HellCore bow. Let me remind all of you, I was wrong in regards to Black Ops bow. And look at it now. Black Ops bow came out, part of the Black Ops collection, which at the time was doing quite alright. Well, that appeared, and has transparency in the top. And I disrespected it. I said, who needs transparency right there? Oh, great, I can see more clouds in the sky. Well, I didn't respect that. What about if you're at a lower level and you're looking up at a cliff? Someone might pop up into your vision with the little hole that it has. So let's just quickly go ahead and show just that. And yeah, no, it might just be that little bit extra help, but it still makes it slightly more pay to win compared to everything else. Every other bow skin, I should clarify. So yeah, will that emulate the behavior we saw with the Black Ops bow? Or just goes up a price instantly, and even now, when prices are going down, still in the positive. Do you reckon people will be appreciating transparency on this bow? Well, as I've already said, this collection has been very successful with consecutive acceptances. Now, let me also just remind you, we have seen a lot of interesting skins being submitted. Just this past weekend, we saw the custom SMG. And quite some time back, we also saw this crossbow. Wasn't accepted, unfortunately. But that was the very first one, I believe. Is that correct to say? I think AK-47 was first. Crossbow was second. Wait a while. AK-47 was accepted. By then, the skin creator had already made the SAR. But then the SAR was accepted over the crossbow. Maybe in the future we'll have complete the sets so we'll see that crossbow. Or maybe a random extra late pick next week. We shall see. But there are options. And that custom SMG, let me tell you, at the moment, I'm very much under the impression that we should be expecting that to appear and be accepted. So HellCore collection, we take one quick look at you. And I'm going to sit here and say I'm very happy that I bought 50 of them. Maybe I should have bought more. Again, they are $4 a piece. That did not sell that much. Are we going to see that happen all over again with this one? If HellCore Thompson ended up not selling too ridiculously, I can easily foresee that working out all right, especially with more skins expected to be produced and accepted. A lot more transparent aim sights. So I ask you right now, what weapon would you like to see being made next? What transparent aim sight and a weapon would you like to see being made next with a HellCore skin? So feel free to comment below, offer your opinions, offer what you'd like to see. But yes, I must respect what happened here with the Black Ops bow. 36,000 plus subscribers, still in the positive. At the current rate of sales, well, you're the 3rd lowest selling skin. I don't think that'll even reach 10,000. It might. Again, it's too early to make judgment. But yes, that right there, that's in a very, very, very good spot. I spent quite a lot buying skins from the previous Rust store. Maybe I might have to consider looking at this Rust store as well, because there are some interesting things. But sales will definitely kind of impact how confident I feel with these skins. So, okay, $2.49, not $4. That seems quite approachable. So maybe it'll be quite alright. Fish bed. Right, so fish collection. That's been doing very nicely for itself. So, if the only skin that's in the negative is only down by 1%, do you think the bed probably stands a chance? I remember quite a long time back, not too long ago, you had Mr. Spoon Kid just nonchalantly saying, oh, look, guys, I'm buying tons of these fish bags. Well then, well, it's still in the positive. But, yeah, that bed. It doesn't glow in the dark. Does that matter? Maybe some people would have wanted to have a glow-in-the-dark screaming fish for a bed. Maybe. But do you think that's the end of fish collection? No. Well, I got to point this out. We did recently see that transparent aim sight revolver. That didn't happen, unfortunately. Or is it unfortunate? Because Hedge, you did kind of invest into those revolvers, didn't you? Maybe the lack of revolver skins being accepted might be a positive thing for us. Maybe. But we also saw attempts for the tier 3. Didn't happen. I mean, ugh. Anyway. In regards to deployables, the most recent deployable skin to be submitted but wasn't accepted was the wooden double door and the fish fridge. So, could we see more deployables? If everything's already in the positive, surely it'll just work out quite alright. It's selling for the standard price of $1.49, and it's the second lowest selling skin. I don't imagine we'll see tons of these on the Steam market at a later date. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, so yeah, fish bed, $1.49. It might just retain, so maybe we're just better off with a barter. And also, not abnormal. We can't get the early barders in, so that might be a bit of a pain. And then we have Old Pirate Python, sequel to the revolver, which, by the way, doesn't appear to have even changed that much. I mean, maybe it has now. Let's just quickly double check. So let me turn on my Steam inventory helper extension. I had to point it out such a way because people keep asking me, what are you using? And, well, I mean, it looks like it has seen better days, but it's not doomed. It's still retaining its price. It's still doing okay. It's still in the positive. If this is what it looks like when times are bad, I wonder what that's going to look like around the summertime, especially considering we might be seeing some more skins being accepted. Now, let's quickly go over to here and point this out. As you'll see, Kavahu did make SAR skins. Now, why is there's a version 2? I have to take a look at that in a second. But yep, this is the version 1. And you'll notice, oh wow, it has the exact same amount of transparency as a Heat Seeker SAR. Lovely. So, okay. There could be more. And this upcoming weekend, we expect to see more. Unless Kavahu might want to focus doing an Easter skin. We shall see. But yeah. Could we see more of this? And also, that's a transparent aim sight Python. But we saw one recently, didn't we? We saw the optimized Python. Literally, the previous skin still went down in price. Transparent aim sight Pythons appear to not be very, special anymore. Because we've got, 7 of them. And very likely we'll keep seeing more in the future. So, yeah, okay. Lower selling skin. I don't expect it to sell too ridiculously. And also, how many of you actually appreciate the Python, the weapon itself? Yeah. When you look at all the skins, it's pretty easy to figure out people don't like using it that much. Only the transparent aim sight ones are doing pretty sweet. All the other ones, well, the vast majority of them are down pretty bad. Older ones are looking quite alright here, but yeah. We aren't getting older ones in Rustors, are we? Alright then. So yep, Old Pirate Python. We'll have to get a good look at you, and then people can offer their opinions. Yeah, cool. Right, so that's pretty much everything in regards to this Rustor. Now, we need to use our eyes and look at them in game to truly appreciate them. What's that smell? Something smells really, really nice. I wonder what it could be. Oh, there you go. So, 2 very nice looking barbecues on display. Which one's your favourite? Well, let's go ahead and get a good look at them first. Wrought iron barbecue. Very interesting. Transparent metal design. Very nice pattern design there. I really do think that could turn into a very nice looking deployable collection. At night time, you might question, hey, does that glow in the dark? Well, I think it's just reflection. Oh, the meat looks ever so delicious. And then over to here, Abyss collection, a very interesting collection continuation. With all of the skins that we've seen being produced for this set, there's always this creepy, scary looking monster with the mouth, the teeth. Ah. Well, now its mouth is open and it has even more teeth than you realised. Ah. So that's like a nice addition. Is it an alien? Is it just a monster in general? Is it like some sort of deep sea creature? I have no idea. So let's go ahead and look at this at night time with the lights on. Now, more specifically, we're going to look at the ones that are idle, that are closed. And as you'll notice, it is quite reflective, this. Even the light emitted from the nearby barbecue right here, it even reflects that. So that's looking pretty sweet. And over to here, Abyss barbecue's also nice and reflective. It also is looking sweet. So I'm not going to bother looking at the actual lit barbecues because it doesn't matter. They emit their own light. But I will go ahead and look at them in total darkness. Well, I mean, there's lights on over there, but it's still dark here, so don't worry. So the reflection from the metal on the inner part gives off the orange hue. But that's not glow or anything. That's not coloured in. That is just quite literally like reflecting the light from the fire. So, okay. No need to be concerned in regards to does it glow? Is it noticeable at night time? It's noticeable. It's noticeable. But in comparison, okay. Well, that's different. It's purple. It's the purple of the Abyss collection. That's looking pretty cool. Lots of eyes, lots of teeth, even the prongs are purple. So, yeah, which ones do you prefer? Perhaps you might have differing opinions. Perhaps you just have different tastes. Which meat do you prefer? Oh, there we go. Do you even like meat? Well, there you go. So, yeah, honestly, I think both of them are very perfectly fine, unique approaches. But there will be more barbecues. I'm not sure how many more to expect from here and now. But considering the very first one got like over 20,000 subscribers for what people might consider a roleplay skin, I'm not surprised to see so much effort and so many attempts being made for barbecues. I believe in total, as of now, we've got over 30, pushing up to 40 in total at the moment. So, alright then. So, yeah. We'll see how they turn out as we do the Abnormal Barders next Wednesday. Now it's time to look at the second best-selling skin so far. It is eerie. It is creepy. It is a hellish landscape with skulls stacked up all around. It is the Apotheosis of War Armored Double Door. Now there's one thing we didn't actually reference earlier. It doesn't have Armored Double Door in its name. Which kind of makes sense because maybe the name might have been a little bit too long. Apotheosis of War Armored Double Door. Actually, it kind of rhymes. Anyway, yeah, it might have been too long. Will that be a problem for people to find? Or maybe they'll just remember apotheosis. How do you spell apotheosis? Go. Yeah, that might lead to, it might lead to some problems. Imagine, like, not having English as your main language. Yeah, that might lead to issues. So, okay. Maybe not everybody will be able to find it. Maybe they'll be lucky and see it on the front page. We'll see. But I think when a lot of people happen to see this for the first time, I think they're going to be like, wow. I think O'Connor did a very nice job of this. You'll notice with the lights on at night time, the skulls, they are quite shiny. They're quite reflective. Every single one of them is reflecting, even the ones in the distance. That's cool. But also, now in total darkness, well, it might be a bit of a problem, because we have the lights on in the background. So by default, you can clearly see that's pretty easy to notice. But what I had to do is I had to trick the lights in the background. So look, they've gone off. Ah, damn it! Right, I'm just gonna move away. Got to wait a little bit longer. Being in Fairy Terminal, being in Fairy Terminal, it's cool. It's unique. Like, but the lights are a problem. So. There you go. Ha-ha! Beat them. I was too quick for you. So anyway, yeah, look at that. Nice and noticeable. An amazing art piece. Dreary. Quite sad. Now, thoughts and opinions, please. Feel free to comment below. Is that going to sell as much as the Nucrum Armored Double Door from the previous week? Is this actually going to develop into a collection? Well, we'll have to keep an eye out. We'll have to wait and see over the course of this upcoming weekend. Right, so keep an eye out. It's selling quite a lot. Maybe it starts to slow down towards the end of the week. Now over to here, well, let's just move the sun around first of all. Ta-da! Right. How you doing, Mr. Fish? Oh, he just wants to scream. Ah! Right, anyway, so, well, the hook's in his mouth. It kind of explains a lot. In the sunlight, quite shiny, but who's going to have their bed outside? Well, it wouldn't be a very good spot for a bed if it's outside. Sleeping might be a bit... Anyway. So, yep, that's a perfectly fine looking bed. Nighttime look with the lights on nearby. You notice, yeah, it's quite reflective. It's quite shiny. So, alright, cool. But let's just get this across to you very quickly. It doesn't glow. Yeah, you might notice there's like a bit of reflection here. I believe it's the lighting from over there. So don't really be concerned about that. Just know that it's not intended to glow. Yeah. So, alright. Is that a problem though? Do you personally feel the need to have all your beds glow in the dark? So what do you reckon then? Another fish collection skin has been accepted. And we've already seen some wacky designs already. I mean, we recently saw like the bucket helmet. What about a fish barbecue? What do you reckon? Fish on a barbecue? I mean, no, that's fine. You could do some like interesting kebabs and whatnot. We'll see. But what would you personally like to see being made next? Don't say tier 3. He's tried. He's tried. What about a fish bearskin rug? That'd be weird. That'd be creepy. You know what? That wouldn't be too bad of an idea for Halloween. Write that down, Shedmon. Anyway. This won't be the only Shedmon skin we'll be taking a look at today. In fact, you might have noticed it as we moved over to here. So, don't worry. We'll talk about that a little bit more when we talk about Easter 2026. First of all, let's wrap it up. Talk about the deplorables with this very interesting looking furnace. Now, when it's not lit up, it does look a bit weird. It looks as if it's a 3D model that doesn't even have its textures yet. I don't want to say I mean, it does kind of look like that. But of course, when it's actually turned on, the lightning streaks, oh, they really do kind of like stick out. Yeah, that looks nice. And of course, the very creative usage of transparency. The lightning bolts, they are sticking out. So, okay. That's looking pretty cool. And are you impressed? If we were to consider a potential deplorable collection for the storm clouds, what would work? What would you like to see next? Feel free to comment below in that regard. Now, with the lights on nearby at night time, it's somewhat reflective, as you can see here. Again, that whole jokey thing where I said, you know what, kind of looks like it doesn't have its texture. At night time like this, it's like a whole lot more looking like that. So, alright, cool. A perfectly fine, creative, fun-looking furnace. Let's see if everybody actually approves of it. Got to keep an eye on the sales first of all. It is abnormal after all. How's it look in total darkness? That is a super standout, awesome looking design. Props to skin creators. There's a reason why I showed this off in the preview video like 2 weeks ago. People had to see that. And now, maybe they'll start questioning if they have to have it in their bases. Awesome approach. Very cool. Feel free to comment below your thoughts in regards to what we just saw there. And now, it is time for the clothing and the armour. I guess you could say backpack's technically clothing. So yes, the Caution Backpack, another sequel has appeared. Lots of collection continuations in this restore, but it hasn't really made that much of an impact. I've looked at the other skins. They haven't really budged that much. I'm not sure if this Caution collection is actually like properly in demand, but if we were to see like tier 3 being made and accepted, I think you might see all of it. I think you might see all of it Spark on Spark Price. Just saying. Anyway, so yep, that looks cool. That looks mighty fine. An interesting yellow design. What are your thoughts? Maybe I shouldn't be so close. It's kind of giving me a warning. So, yeah. It's just a perfectly fine looking yellow backpack. At nighttime. Again, lights off. Does it glow in the dark? No. No glow. Not easy to see in third person. Yep. Okay. So, I have no concerns. I see no issues. So, if you like that, by all means, consider doing the abnormal barders first. Actually, no, are you abnormal? I don't think you are. No, you're not. Uh-oh, that might be a bit of a concern. Well then, I'm not really sure if it's just going to work out like amazingly, like instantly. Yeah, collection continuation after this would give it a boost. But is that actually going to happen? We waited, what, half a year for that to get accepted? Will we even see like tier 3 being produced or any other sort of clothing armor piece? Maybe like a bandana or something, I don't know. But like, I don't think we'll be seeing more of this for a while, at the very least. So we'll see what becomes of that. But it still looks nice. And I don't think we have that many yellow backpacks. So, hey, if you're a fan, consider going for it. And then over to here, we have the training tactical gloves. So I will say this, I've already had one person mention it. They're like, uh-oh, rip pirate gloves. No. Both of them are in-demand collections in their own right. Although, maybe it was because it had that 50 wall on the pirate gloves. Anyway, so I have noticed that some of the training collection skins got bought out today. It is older than Blackout, as I mentioned, and it certainly didn't sell as much. So what are your thoughts? Honestly, I think they'll just probably retain their value. They might drop off a little bit initially for a while, but could we still see more training collection skins that could give this a boost? To be honest with you, I don't think we can. I mean, if they try and consider doing, like, primitive, maybe? I mean, it's up to them, but for what I see here, it's a welcome addition. It looks nice, but how many more Blackout alternative options could we see getting tactical gloves? And let alone what happens if we see Blackout Collection getting their tactical gloves accepted. It takes just one complete the set thruster. Yeah, so, alright, understood. Nighttime look. Do they reflect? Not really. Not super shiny. Nothing, like, crazy. I mean, you might question, Hedge, is it glow in the dark? No, no glow. So, okay then. $1.49. I don't think it could really suffer that much. But what if we suddenly start seeing tons upon tons upon tons of tactical glove skins? I wonder if we'll even see any being made for, like, Easter. I mean, maybe. I think it'll probably just be alright. I don't really expect it to rise up that much anytime soon. I think it might just be like a safe thing. Most likely retain most of its value for the foreseeable future. But then the summertime, well, I have seen that training collection go up in price ever so nice. So, keep an eye out. Okay, time to showcase the weapons. First of all, we have the HellCore bow. Get a good look at that. A perfectly fine, welcome addition for this proposed transparent aim sight. HellCore collection. And instantly you notice where the transparency is. Yep, it's in the upper portion, much like what we saw at the fairly recent Black Ops bow. So if I could just aim. Yeah, right. So you're going to sit there and say, well, it doesn't really help out with the actual aim sight. It's just transparency in the upper portion of the bow. Yes, that's exactly it. Now, initially, I just dismissed it. Oh, look at that. I can just see the cloud in the sky. Wow. Yeah, but like when you're like aiming here, like if you're aiming over there, like someone could appear in that roof right there, and it would actually like I'd be able to see it. Look, I can see a hidden hedge, a hidden hedge. Yeah, reactive target. So I completely missed that. Come on, I'm actually hitting it. There you go. I was only slightly above it. There you go. But I wouldn't have noticed that. So yeah, if I just do that again, like I'm looking around, someone might be walking along. Look, someone's just appeared in that small gap. Again, it's small. You might even say it's not even that much important. And yet still, it's a little bit more helpful and pay to win in comparison to a standard bow skin. Yep. Now, of course, we could also look at this at night time. So I'm definitely standing in pitch black. There's no light right up close to me or anything. And I can confirm to you, if I look at the ground, if I look at the sky, there's no good night light with this. So, yeah, we've seen that with other HellCore skins. It's to be expected. Now, of course, if I go over to here and hold it in my hands, move it around, it's somewhat reflective. Not insanely, but if you're going to really look for the reflection, it is somewhat noticeable. And, of course, strike a pose, try and look pretty. Again, the more the merrier. Consecutive HellCore skins have been accepted over and over again. And considering it's not really selling that much as of now, this actually could turn into a pretty interesting investment. Much like the Thompson from the previous week, there's a reason why I bought 50 of them. It sold a lot less than what I was anticipating, but that most likely is due to the fact that it was so high priced. This is a lot more approachable. 50 cents more compared to what the Black Ops bow started at. Maybe it could still end up being a positive profit. Again, if we keep seeing more of these transparent aim sight weapon skins being produced and accepted, I won't be surprised if all of it ends up in the positive at some point. So, alright, cool, understood. So, offer your thoughts and your opinions in the comments below. I've got another weapon skin to showcase to you. So, let's go ahead and do just that. Boom. Alright. So, I repeat. Very recently, we just saw the optimized Python being accepted. And it pretty much had the exact same amount of transparency. Like, it had cosmetic, stylish transparency. If you know, you know. Anyway. We also happen to have, like, Redemption. We also happen to have, like, here we go. Bombshell. Something Bombshell. It had a fun name to it, didn't it? Blackout. You get the idea. So, yes. I don't want to sound mean, but this isn't so special anymore. If it came out like 2 years ago, I'd probably be screaming at what I'm looking at right now. But, of course, that's when we saw, like, Redemption Python being accepted. Get that nice reload. So, honestly, like, yeah, it's a nice looking skin. A somewhat green tint. I'm not sure how, like, pirate themed it is, so I've got to get up nice and close. I see the sword. I see, like, the pirate skeleton there. Okay, maybe that's enough. What are your thoughts? Because I'm very much under the impression people don't actually care for Python, like the Python itself, the gun itself. If there's no justification to, you know, use the weapon, where's the justification to own skins for it? That might lead to problems. Perhaps that's the reason why it's the lowest selling skin so far. And very likely could be the lowest selling skin by next week. So we'll see what becomes of it, but I have to point out, yeah, pay to win, very nice. But there are other options, and I'm pretty sure there are cheaper options as well. So, anyway, let's go stand here. Nighttime look. Does it stand out nicely? Is it super easy to see? And I've got to be honest with you, it's not super easy. I can vaguely see it. It's not super easy to see. So, yeah. Okay, well, that might be a problem. Maybe a lot of people just simply won't care. Fair enough. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Let's go on stage. Let's hold you in my hands. Pan around a bit. Looking pretty cool. And now let's go ahead and strike a pose. I can't help but assume there will be... Well, here's a good thing to probably point out. Was the HellCore Python. Oh, there you go. That wouldn't be surprising now, would it? So, yes. For now, maybe it won't sell so much. For now, maybe, with it only being the second skin in this old pirate collection, it's not exactly going to do super crazy numbers. But what if we do start seeing a lot more of these skins being produced and accepted? Case in point, the SAR is out there. It's up to Face Punch if they want to accept that as well. But considering we've currently got the HellCore collection, kind of filling in that spot based on what we saw of last year's Heatseeker collection, maybe this ends with just 2 skins in total. Or at the very least, Kavahu, a SAP. People would appreciate a SAP. I mean, I'd appreciate a SAP for the HellCore collection as well. We'll see what happens there. So anyway, got no issue with it. I see no problems. But there are other options, and they're cheaper, and that very likely will suffer simply because of that. But a sheer lack of sales, well, that could be different. But even optimized SAR optimized Python, didn't that only do like 8,000-ish subscribers? Still went down the price. Slightly. But, yeah, not perfect. AKA, maybe we're just better off with a builder. That probably will just be the approach. So, okay, we'll keep that in mind. But by all means, if you like what you see, buy it, use it, enjoy it, support the skin creators, keep them nice and motivated, keep them to put out nice creative designs in the future. Okay. We'll get a good look at that. A very nice cranberry, metallic red. Look at the shine. Look at the sheen. Well, that looks very nice. But based on what I've seen with recent double barrel shotgun skins, kind of come under the impression that people don't appreciate this weapon that much. Now, again, you can just instantly dispute that, comment below. But, yeah, like for the past 2 years, double barrel shotgun skins have been performing bad. Now, considering this is part of a well-established collection, that does appear to be doing very well for itself. Maybe this would be doing better. I mean, I wouldn't say no. So, let's just give that a nice little reload. Look at the shine. Looking very nice. Aim down as well. I see no issues. I see no faults. But I still have to be cautious. The prices, they're just not looking very good. But the redemption prices are looking pretty good. Not all of them, though. Alright, fair enough. Let's go stand in the dark. Aim down. Not super noticeable. Not super noticeable. Alright. So that might be a bit of a concern to some people. And of course, if you're near lights at night time, whoa, look at that. That's a shiny looking double barrel shotgun. That's a spectacle. Right, anyway. Let's go ahead, get up nice and close. So, thoughts, opinions. What do you think? Would you like to use this as your double barrel shotgun skin? What else could we see with the Redemption Collection? I certainly hope it's hoodie and pants. Come on, Slanoster, do it! Anyway, yep, that looks nice. Props to him. Let's see if Redemption continues to succeed. Right then, so with that, let's now move on and showcase this SKS. So, that is a work of art. That is absolutely amazing. And then when you aim down, So, a light blue aim sight. Honestly, that stands out perfectly fine, even when I look at the sky. And for pretty much every single environment, that should stand out very, very nicely. So, okay. There you go, got him. Right, so, yeah. Up close, you're going to sit there and say, but Hedge, you said it was a white design. It looks blue. True, but from a distance, it doesn't look so blue. So, of course, let's go over to here. Let's pull away. Hopefully I don't crash into something. Right. Okay, I might. So let's just go back. From this distance, it kind of looks like grey or a white. It doesn't look blue to me. So, would you agree? Would you dispute that? Would you dispute whether this looks like an awesome piece of art? I'm trying to raid them. Not only scouting it. Look at that big base in the distance. This is a cool looking skin. And very likely we could see a whole lot more of these. Keep an eye out. Vase also might need to consider trying to do porcelain hoodie and pants. We have asked. We actually have asked. He sounds pretty confident that he could get it done. Although I think I've said that like somewhat recently. So, get a move on. Anyway, that looks fine. I have no issue with that. How's it look at night time? Well, let's go back over to here. Night time. Right. Oh, I can see that aim sight very nicely. Look at that. It's light. It's noticeable. Okay. Well, at the very least, we do have that. With the other few weapon skins we've looked at and whatnot, it hasn't looked very useful, has it? So, yeah, no, this one actually looks like it's got a pretty good nightlight aim sight. So let's go over to here. Oh, look at the gold trim. Look at the sheen right there. Oh, that's nice and shiny. So the actual porcelain design, not too crazy with the shine, but the gold. Oh my. So let's get up nice and close. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So I have to mention this. How many more SKSs do you think we'll see this year? I think we'll see probably at least 20. Brand new Skinnable. Lots of very interesting collection continuations have been made for it. And of course, with new collections being made, more SKSs will be made. Yeah, I think we'll be seeing a lot more of these. Don't forget, Twitch drops, kick drops. Oh, it feels like an inevitability. So yeah, no, it looks nice. I'm sure we could see a lot more very interesting, nice looking designs. But I don't think you'll see anything else in this colour scheme. will we see even more white or whitish SKS skins being accepted? At the very least, it doesn't glow in the dark. Alright, so no complaints here. But what's your opinion? Could this work out as a nice investment? Will it even sell that much? We'll just have to wait and see. And so that, let's now move on to the third weapon skin now, I think. No, because I think we have the other two, so technically there's a lot of them. Anyway, we got the Oil King AK-47. So fairly grounded with its approach, looking pretty cool. Let's go stand over to here. In fact, I should have gone back over to here. Why are you going all the way back over to here? Because that's where the yeah. Whoops. Okay. That's fine. I have no issue with it. The reason why I just don't really have that much faith in AK-47s in general is because we just constantly see AKs being accepted all the time. And it gets to a point where it's like they really have to stand out. They really have to stand out, otherwise they just get lost in the shuffle. So if we do see a collection being built up from here, that'd be very nice to see. It would need it, because, well, yeah, if it's all by itself. So, anyway, based on what I see here, it's a perfectly fine looking design. I don't think yeah, okay, I forgot to put those lights back on. Yeah, it's fine. Again, fairly grounded with its approach, nice and welded. It looks like a very nice sort of DIY style design, which I think we do need to see a lot more of here and there. So we'll get some nice and shiny, sparkling, fatchy new skins. But based on the law of rust, we wouldn't be we wouldn't be finding factory new skins, would we? It'd be like worn out and like sort of damaged and whatnot. Anyway, night time. Well, can't see that very well. Can't see that very well. So, alright then. It's, yeah, not super noticeable. It's a perfectly fine design in terms of what they're like intending. But I'm not sure if everyone's going to go super wild for like a DIY grounded approach. Do you like those style of skins? Or do you prefer super flashy? Or should I just say, do you just prefer like pay to win skins? Well, let's go over to here. Boom. And let's get a good look at you. I like it. I respect it. We just saw a very interesting transparent crossbow being produced. What else would you like to see? Feel free to comment below. And so it's time to showcase that big skin that was on my back the whole time. This handmade LMG. Yep. So get a good look at the Cold Hunter handmade LMG. Let's give that a nice reload. Looking perfectly fine there. By the way, I don't think I reloaded the AK. Let's just quickly sort that out. There you go. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Right, then let's go over to here. Yep, cool, lovely. Now back over to this Cold Hunter handmade LMG. At night time, I think you'll be pretty impressed because, of course, you'll notice it's like all frosty white. Guess what? That means good night light. So to truly notice that, yep, instantly, I can see the whole body easily. Yep, I've already seen this beforehand, away from lights and whatnot. Can confirm to you, yes, 100%, that's night light, that stands out, that's super handy. But it is a standard sight for a handmade LMG. And I'm very much under the impression people don't like that. So, yeah, looking pretty shiny as well. But let's just get a good look at you during the day. So, alright. A very nice carved design. An exquisite sculpture. Oh, yes. So, yeah, props to MDE. Let's see if we could also get the SKS accepted. He, of course, did submit that just a few days ago. Awesome stuff. Right, over to here. Let's get a good look at you. So, yep, nice and shiny. Lovely. And now over to here. Strike a pose. Well, back a bit. No. Yeah, that'll do. Right then. So, thoughts and opinions. Will this actually work out quite alright? Or is it going to suffer like pretty much all the other handmade LMGs at the moment? Times are steering towards bad times. But eventually it will be the summer. And during the summer, we do tend to see skins rise up to brand new all-time peaks. So maybe this could still work out. Again, if it doesn't sell too much, maybe things can work out nicely. So, okay. So with that, let's hop out of here and offer some extra words. So it doesn't hurt to just pace yourself and just wait it out. But if you like a skin and you want it and you want to use it, just go ahead. Just go ahead and appreciate it. So, alright, cool. Let's also just quickly show this on micro522.com. How all the skins looked literally the second that they're accepted. So if you've ever questioned like, hey, do votes matter? Not really. But with these older skins, you can see they had some very nice scores. They had some very interesting upvote, downvote ratios. But yeah, like some of the skins only have so many upvotes and only so many actual votes overall. It's up to Face Punch at the end of the day. So just wanted to get that across to all the people. Yeah, you don't need to fuss about the voting so much, but at least the skin creators can see. So, alright then, training tactical gloves. A score of 74 is ridiculous. Well, it's been accepted, so guess we can't complain. But we could still see quite a lot of tactical gloves in the future. Just because it scored nicely doesn't necessarily it's going to be A-OK as an investment. A-OK in retaining its price in the Steam market. So, alright, we'll leave that as it is. So, alright, that's cool. Now we've got to go ahead and look towards the future. So what is expected potentially for April 2026? Well, if you're going to stay in the know, you've got to keep an eye on the commits. So let's just switch over to here. Anything new being mentioned? Apparently shields are being tweaked. We've also seen mentions that the armored ladder hatch should be worked on and finished by then. So, okay. Attachment charms appear to be probably ready soon. And it looks like they're making a lot more of them. Like a lot more. Those charms, if you bought that special backpack, right? Well, now they're making one for like an AK-47 and a blowpipe and a blunderbuss and a bolt action rifle. Is it charms of the weapons or charms for the weapons? I don't know. So, okay, that might be pretty interesting. Now, over here, I'm not sure what's going on, but there's a lot of focus and work being put onto the Salvaged Axe. Why are they working on the Salvaged Axe? There's no confirmation yet in regards to what the next skinnable will be, but I know for a fact a lot of people have been waiting for the Salvaged Axe to become skinnable. And then we could get combinations and pairs with the, Salvaged Ice Pick. So you could have stone tools, regular tools, and salvage tools. That'd be cool. So, alright, we'll see how that turns out. Now over to here. Easter 2026 DLC. Well, you know what? Maybe I might save that for a second because, we've got a few things to talk in regards to that. So, yep, there's the armored ladder hatch. And then, Crypt building skin. I'm under the impression this might be the DLC for April. So, yes, apparently it's going to be stone, which Crypt, yeah, that's to be expected. So, yep, Crypt building skin. Didn't we get an early look at that like 2 months ago? Well, seems it's being polished now, and it looks like it's set and ready, potentially for April. So give it maybe another week or so. I'm sure people like, Mr. Protox will probably have a visual on it, and then, yeah, just sit and wait for it to appear. Another stone building skin. Although, when I kind of sat down and thought about it, I know a lot of people like, well, it'd be nice if we could have another, sheet metal building skin. Yeah, but what would you do? What would you think of? I had someone mention it earlier. The shipping container is so good because you can choose like different colors, you have different options and whatnot. I don't think another sheet metal skin that comes out can compete with it. But if you do have a solid idea, what would you say? I really don't actually have a solid idea. I honestly don't. So yeah, what would you consider? Anyway, Crypt building skin that appears to be ready for April. No confirmation as of yet. But the fact that it's being polished right now, it gives the indication that likely is going to be happening. So, $15, please. Moving on. So Easter 2026, if you aren't fully well aware, a brand new Easter bunny suit is being worked on. Easter costume, Easter suit, bunny suit, not sure. Because of course you know how we've had like the chicken costume and the horse costume, the leg armor, where you run around and it looks like you're riding like a big inflatable version of them. I'm not sure if this bunny suit is for that, like a version of that, or it's like an actual Easter bunny suit. Maybe it's both. Maybe it's two different things. Not 100% sure on that, but I'm sure many of you are fully aware. We're going to get a brand new Rustichet egg, and it's purple apparently. Amethyst, which I would imagine is purple. Apparently, it's going to have excavator for it. So, you know, like each of the Rustichet eggs has like a different monument. Boom, excavator. So, okay, that's cool. So, special Easter 2026 items. But what about skins? So over to here, is that's it? That's it. Yep. The Easter contest begins. We had just had Valentine's and Lunar New Year. Well, welcome to the beginning of the year. Quite a lot of contests to happen. So this appears to be intended for 2 weeks, 2 Easter Rustors. Although that's not like strange or odd because we've been through this before, haven't we? So of course, you know the routine. Skin creators need to go ahead, produce an interesting looking Easter skin, submit it, and then they'll have a break as we go through the Easter skin submissions. So of course that would mean that Hedge has to go ahead and do like a showcase of the collection continuations and a bingo, because I wouldn't be able to make my own collection. TGG will be doing this, and yes, it's already happened. It didn't happen for Lunar New Year because technically speaking that wasn't supposed to be a contest. Okay, sure, whatever. Well, here's the first skin to be submitted. Say hello to Shedmon's Bunny's Secret Garage Door. That has a really big carrot. She has to use 2 hands to hold it. Anyway, yeah, you should be expecting a lot of like girl-themed skins and doors and whatnot. It's not surprising. If you saw Valentine's, there was a lot of it. So, yeah, that's the first, but plenty more to come. I reckon we'll probably see between 200 to 250. That's to be expected, so, all right. What potential collection continuation are you looking forward to? Like, you can just go on SMM. You can easily navigate to the past. Just go to the top right, click the little clock notch thing right there. Go to April 10 and 17, is that correct? I believe so. Week 1, boom. I'm personally hoping for like a continuation of this. Imagine like a grey feathery burlap set. That might be nice. Like, I feel like it's a dead cert we'll be seeing more of the Easter Chick collection, although with all due respect I should just probably tell you I actually asked one. I just asked, hey, don't you think a bed might be a pretty clever idea? Say no more. I think that's what we're getting, because we do need the first ever Easter bed. Make it a cute little chick. I think people would want that. So alright, cool. But what about the pillows, where you put 2 little tiny chicks and give them little like nightcaps and make them sleepy? There you go. Done. Easy. There you go. So, yeah, potential collection continuations for the skins that we see here. And then, of course, don't forget we had a second week. Hardly any sales happened this week, if you can remember. And yet still, I'm sure a lot of people appreciate collection continuations. So, let's see how that all turns out. Cool. So, yeah. How about, then, we hop in game and give that Bunny Secret Garage Door a nice look. I was trying to find it. Anyway, let's go hop and go. Oh, it's enormous. Look at it. Right. What ideas can you think of for Easter that doesn't include an Easter egg, a chicken, or a bunny? What can you think of? Yeah, we're going to see a lot of the very similar sort of designs and approaches. But as I said, I guess you could do a barbecue. I guess you could do an SKS. Nothing stopping you. You know how recently we saw that wooden double door of all the transparency for Lunar New Year? It kind of wouldn't surprise me if we potentially see an Easter version of that. I'm not saying the skin creator who made it would do that as well, but then again, what's stopping him? And what's stopping anybody else? Well, we'll see how that turns out. Anyway, let's get a good focus of this garage door. doesn't appear to stand out so much in regards to like its bump map and whatnot. So nighttime look. Of course, we're going to have the silly situation with the lights in the background, but this doesn't appear to be very reflective. Not like super shiny, super in your face. So how about we look at this in total darkness? Got the lights in the background, so let me just quickly trick it. Now remember, we have to wait like 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's go. That's a super standout, nice glow-in-the-dark design. I think Shedmon's made a perfectly fine looking skin. But what would you like to see? What items do you think deserve to get some skins? Comment below. So that's the first of many. There'll be a lot more to follow that. So keep an eye out. This upcoming weekend, but most likely, mostly next weekend. So I think we'll see a decent portion of them being submitted this upcoming weekend. But next week, yeah, it'll just probably literally just be Easter skins. Right then, so keep an eye out. So with Easter looming over the horizon, you probably should start keeping track of all the skins that are submitted over like the past month or so. Because, well, let's say half the skin creators focus making an Easter skin this upcoming weekend, and then next week the other half did it the week after that. Well, not going to see that many regular non-holiday skins, so it wouldn't be too surprising if some of the skins that are submitted over the past several weeks or so are then the ones that get accepted. So, yeah, I just noticed. Looks like we did also get quite a lot of typical picks. Basically, skins that are submitted not just the past weekend, but the weekend before that. So, yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of ticks. So, did we not see a single early pick? Scroll, 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 scroll. We got one. Scroll, 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 scrolling down. Wow, only one early pick. So in theory, right, in theory, perhaps we're going to see some skins from this batch appearing in next week's Rust Store. Well, I mean, maybe. No guaranteeing it, but it's fun to presume. So alright then, cool. Consider giving that a good watch. And then, of course, I'll repeat, if you want to stay up to date with all the most recent skins that are submitted to the Rust Workshop, consider watching my Rust Workshop skin checks. And again, if you just want to skip ahead to all the collection continuations, just scroll down, look in the description, chapters are there. Right, so I think we've pretty much talked about everything that needs to be talked about. How about we go ahead and wrap up the video? So I did mention the Easter dip quite a lot, didn't I? I will most likely have to make a video showcasing like examples of certain skins going down in price as of recent, just to kind of get the point across. And again, in theory, it should only be lasting until May time. This past post-Christmas was really good. Lasted all the way until like, well, February. Then again, February had a lot of people playing because, of course, the naval update. So, alright, understood. But yeah, I think people just need to see like examples of whiteout collection. Typically, when that's selling very well, you know, all skins in general are selling very well. But when they're not selling very well and the price is going down, well, what do you reckon? So yeah, we'll probably use them as a measurement. Now, as we send ourselves away, get a good look at this. Right next to the torches. I've got to tell you, that stands out even more eerily now. The orange feels emphasized. Oh my. So that, well, the only early pick this week seems Face Punch has turned around and said, you know what, that actually looks really cool. Maybe that's the indicator to see some more skins being made, Mr. Icona. So, it's up to him. It's up to him. Wouldn't surprise me if we see like a resubmission of the rug in a garage door this upcoming weekend. We shall see. Right then, so that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching the video. I greatly appreciate it. I hope we showed off all the skins in a nice, timely manner. We explained, well, I explained my thoughts in regards to whether they could work out very nicely and whatnot. What exactly was I talking about in regards to that furnace, though? I mean, what's so special about you?
Now!